And we're live. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. 7 viewers in the chat. Happy Monday. On Mondays, we Marston. That's how I get her to sit up. Jay Lash with the thumbs up. Appreciate you, Jay Lash. Thank you for being here. Glennis, channel member Glennis Coleman is here, and she says hello. Greetings, Glennis. Happy Monday. And Miko is back and says hello, Super Antonio. And Sadie, hello, mods. Howdy, folks. Another new week ahead. Yes, indeed, Miko. And but I'll tell you, I'm really happy this week for me is over because I am exhausted. That was a long weekend, friend. O-Dog and David, channel mods and channel members. O-Dog and David are here. Greetings, friends. Appreciate you being here. O-Dog says, sup, Miko. And David says, howdy, folks. Welcome. Don't forget to like this video. Appreciate you, David. And thank you for reminding me to say that. O-Dog says, howdy, Super Antonio. David has the Moondog emoticons and a snake emoticon for Miko and says hello to Glennis. O-Dog says, Davey boy, what it is, with a channel members exclusive Micah emoticon. Glennis says hello to everyone. And Miko says, hey, David and O-Dog. Cloudy is also here. It says, howdy, y'all. And David has a cloud emoticon for Cloudy. What's that about? O-Dog says, it's been a hard week. Was here too, stuck in 100-degree heat. 3 days. Saved my aunt's life. Sad it had come to that. Oh, I'm very sorry to hear that, O-Dog. But I'm happy your aunt, hopefully your aunt is okay. That's a hard weekend. Much harder than mine. I feel I shouldn't complain anymore. I feel embarrassed about complaining. I had a hard week in terms of I worked hard and didn't sleep well and exercised a lot. That is not something to complain about. David, my friend, how are you? And what's for dinner? Same with you, O-Dog. What's for dinner? Also, Glennis, what did you have for dinner? I'm always interested. That condor may not be dead. Might have to get him again. What did I have? Oh, I had the other half of the chicken pad thai from the weekend. David says, sorry for that, my brother, for O-Dog. 8 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Let's head towards the water. David says, pulled my back at work on Sunday and feeling it on Saturday and feeling it now. Yeah, that's hard. Oh, that's scary. You take it easy, friend. Drink lots of water. Maybe think about doing a yoga class when you're feeling better. You know, stretching out some. Or chin-up bar. You know, just hanging from a chin-up bar. That always helps me. I know it does. Just the stretch. Glennis says, steak, pierogies, and broccoli. That sounds delicious. I love pierogies. I haven't had them enough. O-Dog says, no exercise since Friday. Been too busy. Had black-eyed and field peas, mac and cheese, and fried chicken wings with grape Ico soda and cornbread. That also sounds delicious. And so much more elaborate than what I had. You know, I just had chicken pad thai with rice and steamed broccoli. And there's carrots and bean sprouts in the pad thai. So, but I'm glad I'm back on. You know, I'm having some vegetables. Also, I had a side salad, which I mixed in there. So it was chicken pad thai salad. David says, send me some Moondog. And O-Dog says, I killed it, Davey. Yeah, it sounds delicious. I wanted some footage of the Rio del Lobo and Mexico from across the river for shorts, for the nature shorts. O-Dog says, Super Antonio, don't forget to try soul food. I do like catfish, O-Dog. And David says, I like table scraps. You know who else likes table scraps? Sadie, who's sitting under the desk right now. you can get some good vantage points up here. And you probably know about this. I mean, all of you have played this game multiple times, but there's a corpse around here that we're going to investigate. A brother Rodolfo, who's been there since 1792. The desert basically mummified him. Yeah, O-Dog, my diet is very not limited, but it's lazy of me, but I don't experiment that much. I like what I like, and so I eat a lot of rice. I eat a lot of teriyaki chicken, teriyaki steak, teriyaki salmon, the pad thai, pizza and salad, a bacon cheeseburger every now and then. Glennis says, love soul food. Yeah, someone was barbecuing chicken during our walk tonight. And boy, did it smell delicious. Very distinctive smell in barbecue. You can always tell. I'm sure you can too, David and O-Dog, whether it's chicken or some kind of like beef. O-Dog says, rice, cabbages are part of many dishes. Yeah, I love cabbage. And it's not all bad for you, O-Dog says. Yeah, I don't, it's like, even if it is bad for you, if you just eat a limited quantity, I think you're fine. I think, with the tasty foods, you just can't eat as much as you want. O-Dog says, especially the peas, beans, and greens. The grossest, well, not the grossest thing. It's the oddest thing that I will eat straight from the can is a can of like just pinto beans. It's delicious, and it's a taste that I will crave. And it comes from the Watchmen. I don't know if you saw that movie, but there's a character named Rorschach, and he breaks into like an ally's home, and when the ally finds him, he's eating a can of beans with a spoon. And I was like, it just seemed like a very depression, depression 30s hobo type thing to do. So one time I was like, I was going to heat up a can of pinto beans, and I just tried it straight from the can, and it's delicious. Now I'll like put it on top of a salad every now and then. Glennis says, I make a wicked fried cabbage. My grandson loves it. I eat cabbage almost every day. I love cabbage. And it's so good for you. O-Dog says, they're better out of the ground, but you can doctor up a can of beans and make it. Yeah, like soaking the beans and, like boiling for like 9 days. I'm not going to say I don't have time for that or the patience for that, but I don't know how to do it. Not really. I'm sure there's tutorials on YouTube. So we were climbing this like cliff / mountain / hill just because I wanted to see if we could get a better view of the Sea of Coronado, and we found a corpse. What's that about? And it's about the only thing on this end of the map. So Sunday Sinister stream did quite well for a Sunday stream. Much better than the campfire streams, where we just kind of talk about random stuff. It's over 100 views, which is great for any one of my streams. So yeah, it looks like we're going to do another Sinister stream on Wednesday. And what happened to our horse? Glenn says, pinto beans in the crock pot and bacon, ham, or fatback, salt, pepper, onions, and garlic. Let cook low for 10 hours. How much is a crock pot? Crock pot. Let's look on Amazon. 10 hours. Crock pot slow cooker. Yeah, there's a Hamilton Beach for 34 bucks. Here's one for 26 bucks. 3 quarts. Interesting. What's that about? Is a crock pot a rice burner? Because I have a rice burner. Let's put crock pot versus rice cooker. Oh, interesting. Can a rice cooker replace a crock pot? No, it can't. Crock pots generally have a ceramic or porcelain pot, while most slow cookers have a metal pot. As you know, like my rice burner. As with a lot of cooking appliances, the biggest difference comes from the distribution of heat. I would agree with that. Okay, let's get a slow. What do you call that? A crock pot? David says more folks were listing and not typing, and Odog says you should make it special and investigate. A little detail I found. See, now we need to get down there, and we're not going to jump. See, there he is. What's that about? It is a Red Dead mystery. Glynis says, I have a big one, paid 20 bucks about 10 years ago. Yeah, but you know, it's just me and the dog that I'm cooking for. And so I don't like to make a lot of food. But yeah, it's like we could have infinite beans instead of like just buying cans of beans, which is what I do. I'll just get them from Amazon. You know, they're like, that way I don't have to carry them. You know, I'll just buy like 10 cans at a time. But like one bag of dried beans is like equal to at least 20 cans of beans. So I approve of this idea. Eagles Pros here. Greetings, Eagles. What'd you have for dinner? Happy Monday. On Mondays, we Marston. Okay, here he is. This, my friends, is Brother Rodolfo. Not a Chelonian, a Jesuit. And David and Odog say hello to ePro. Oh, David has an eagle emoticon for Eagles Pro. And we get a letter. But take a good look at him. He's mummified. He's been here since 1792. John says, found a poor man from a long time ago. Chilled me for some reason. And Serena's here. Everybody say hello to Serena. Serena says, hi, Antonio. I was listening while editing a video. Serena, you are killing it on the shorts. I'm very proud of you. And do we have time to read his letter? I think we do. Letter to Brother Rodolfo from Cardinal Blanco, or Cardinal White. Madrid, November 24, 1797. So he's been there for over 100 years. My dear Brother Rodolfo, thank you for your letter. Sometimes politics and the ways of the church are not as pure as perhaps you wish they were. The world is the world of men. Yes, you say, God has given it to us, but we must live in the world as it is, amongst men, some of whom are both very powerful and not entirely receptive to our message. Such is the king at this time, or at least so are his envoys. Perhaps my weakness is a terrible sin, and the concessions I granted them will lead me to hell, as you suggest, but equally it is possible that your pride is also a little sinful. I do not know. I have learnt that we are at our most vulnerable when we judge others harshest. I beg you to reconsider your plan to leave the mission. We need your energy here amongst men. Perhaps, as you say, God calls you from the east, as he once called the Magi. But firstly, I would like to remind you, the Magi traveled west, and your journey from the mission is an extremely perilous. Where'd we go? One. And your journey from the mission is an extremely perilous one. Like you, I believe in acts of blind faith, but unlike you, I do not believe God wants us to be stupid. Please stay in California until I arrive next March. I implore you to share your wisdom, loyalty, and humility at this profoundly difficult time for all of our brotherhood in the New World, and to refrain from making this perilous and vainglorious journey alone. Our very survival depends upon it. Sincerely, Cardinal Blanco. What's that about? I'm glad you're here, Serena. Cloudy says hi to Star Hearts. And David says still drives on the wrong side of the road, LOL. Serena says hi Cloudy and hi Eagles and hi Glynis. And regrettably, Serena has not received the parcel. And John meant to do that. 11 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Happy Monday to you. Where are these jokers off to? Serena says, look at the view. Love Red Dead and Red Dead 2. Serena, Red Dead 2 loves you. And more first-person horse chasing. Just getting some footage for shorts. Cloudy says, I think it's a reference about the guy in Red Dead 1 that was stuck in New Austin. Maybe you're right, Cloudy. I didn't do any research on him. Chasing horses for clout. Serena, have you had your afternoon tea yet? What are you going to have? Ham Sandy? Oh yeah, Odog. Odog sent me something. Let's see what it is. I read it, but I was reading Brother Rodolfo, so I couldn't read it. Serena says, I'm loving the Mafia 2 game. The Snow Gone. Still an awesome game. Always come back for Red Dead 2. Yes, that is very interesting, O-Dog. It's about Abigail. Don't tell Abigail. Yeah, I wasn't going to read it here, O-Dog. Eagles is leaving. Okay, Eagles, you have a great week. Serena says, had bacon and egg and cheese roll I made. That sounds delicious, Serena. Bacon and egg and cheese are a great combo. What I love about bacon and egg and cheese is you pretty much have the whole farm in one meal. You've got chicken, you've got pig, and you've got cow, all mashed together in one glorious product. I would put all that on a hamburger and I would be very, very happy. So the first half of this video is in New Austin, and then we move on to American Venom, which I wanted to do last Friday, but I forgot the footage. So we'll do the footage tonight, and it works better here because it's Marston Mondays. Cloudy asks, Serena, have you played Mafia 1? And Serena says, I'm not sure. I think I did ages ago, Cloudy. Cloudy has their heads in the cloud. Hence the username Cloudy. And Serena has the heart of a star. Do a little recon at Venture's place. There's one guy in the bathroom and a couple guys in the cabin. And we're just gonna dynamite them. Ten viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends. Appreciate you being here. Like and subscribe for daily Red Dead Redemption 2 content. Cloudy says, oh, the game is always on sale. Maybe you can make videos about it. And Serena says, where's Sadie? She's under the desk. What's that about? Hop, hop. Come here. Come here. You need to say hello to Serena. Mama 1 and Papa 1 will show up at some point. There's Sadie. She was under the desk. She saw all her dog friends today, so she was very active and jumping around and wrestling. And she's tired now. And Miko says, watching Mafia 2 playthroughs has increased my fascination for New York City. Mama 1 is here. Everyone say hello to Mama 1. Greetings, Mama 1. Sadie jumped up for Serena, but say hello to Mama 1 too. Sadie girl. Serena says, I will look, Cloudy. I'm not sure if I can play that Mafia. I think it might be hard to play. Miko, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. Not my favorite Sinatra song, but it's very iconic. We're shooting that frying pan for you, David. But one of my favorites. Miko says, hello, Mama 1 and Papa 1. And Serena says, hi, Sadie, beautiful girl. And Papa 1 is here as well. Greetings, Papa 1. Happy Monday. Papa 1 says hi to Miko. And Glennis says, hi, hey, Mama and Papa. Mama 1 says, hi, Serena and Sadie and Glennis. And O-Dog says, M1 and P1. Papa 1 says to Serena, hope you are well. And to O-Dog, good to see you. And hello to Cloudy. Serena says, nice, Miko. I hope I can drive around after I finish the game. It would be good to explore the game. Yeah, make more driving videos, Serena. And make shorts out of it. Because you're killing it on shorts. Very proud of you. She's licking the sunblock. She likes the taste of sunblock. I think because she associates it with going out, because she knows if I open the sunblock that means we're going out. Serena says, getting a bit better. Papa One, still recovering. Thank you. Yeah, you take it easy, Serena. You just you rest a lot, and you drink your water, and you eat. Don't forget to eat. Having a cold burns calories. David says, there he is. Serena says, I have more driving videos in my gallery. I will upload. Yeah, I love your driving videos. And David says, there she is. And Mama One says, hello to David. Papa One says, David, my friend, I hope you are well, and I hope your wife is well. Yeah, David, I'm trying to figure out some witchy stuff for Sinister Sundays for your wife. So far, I want to do an investigation of Marie Laveau. If you've been to Saint Denis, and you know all about her probably, but she's voodoo. And then Madame La Laurie, she's also voodoo. But I want to do some like classical witchy stuff. Perhaps, and the Salem witch trial for me is too obvious. I want to go back to England. So I'll find something, or maybe like modern witchcraft, or, it's like, what I would like is if there were some sort of true crime related witch supernatural crime that we could investigate. But I'll find something. Miko says, yes, thanks for playing Mafia 2, Serena. I forgot it existed. And David says, she is my friend. And to Papa One. And David says, Mr. Super Antonio, anything New Orleans and anything Salem. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll see what I can find. I'm sure I can find something. But yeah, we're definitely doing Madame La Laurie and Marie Laveau. Mama One says, I wish they had done more with New Austin. Okay, now we get into the American Venom Gold Guide. The only thing I would do different in this mission is to have gold cores, with big game, with minty big game, and time big game, but I didn't do that, but we still got a gold. Glennis says, I love New Austin. And Mama One says, I wish they had done more with New Austin. And Mama One says, the Perron haunt, where they claimed a witch named Bathsheba had haunted them. Interesting. Sadie in her bounty hunter gear. Charles is ready for action. He's got his sacred feather and his body armor. They're both wearing body armor. So don't worry. They'll be fine. John forgot his body armor, as always. I don't know why he's going back in there. It's not to get his vest. Momo's here. Momo says hello. Greetings, Momo.
All this wouldn't exist if it weren't for Arthur, Sadie, and all the folks.
Serena says they love Uncle. They really do. John and Abigail. And David and Serena say hello to Momo. First playthrough, Abigail really reminded me of Skylar from Breaking Bad, but now I understand her more. I'm more sympathetic.
I ain't got no other choice. Keep an eye on the place for me. Of course.
Please.
Let's go kill this son of a bitch then.
The Perron haunting in Rhode Island. The Perron family were said to have been haunted in Rhode Island, in the Rhode Island farmhouse, by a ghostly witch named Bathsheba. The previous owner advised the Perrons to leave the lights on at night for the sake of their family.
Yeah, he'll talk. Damn right he will. We owe this to Arthur.
You think Arthur cared about revenge?
That sounds interesting. Okay, I'm making a note of it, Mama One.
Stop Micah, and that's what we're doing.
I've got a list of
And I hear
sinister Sundays.
When I'm not killing old friends.
hell. Nowadays, I'm
Ron
always killing old friends.
Fam Haunt.
Ain't that right, John?
Make a note of it, Morgan.
You interested in bounty hunting?
Okay, when you get to Strawberry, you have to find Cleet in under 30 seconds. That's the first thing you need to do. So basically, as soon as you get off your horse, just run to the sheriff's office.
I think I might get out of here. Go north. Canada.
Serena says, love this when they're riding out together to find Micah. Always puts goosebumps on me, LOL. Yeah, it's the last mission. It's very exciting. The music's just building up. But there's great dialogue. David says, also Tituba. Yeah, but she's from Salem, isn't she, David?
You know, I've been thinking about
So
getting out
we'll investigate her with the Salem.
down South America.
Mama One says John would have got caught eventually anyway. He used his real name for God's sake, but I think this was a small part of the story. No one gets away forever. In the end, you always get caught. Sooner or later, God will cut you down. Cloudy says, do you believe the theory that Uncle is Red Harlow, the one-shot kid? It would be glorious if he is, but he's done nothing to prove it. I think he would have been able to get himself out of that Skinner Brothers scenario. Okay, as soon as as soon as the game lets you, run to the sheriff's office. Don't even look.
He's here. We'll get him. Okay, let's go. There. Cleet! Hey, Cleet! Been a while. Stop that man! He's wanted for murder. Hey, stop! Can't escape us, Cleet. Come here, friend. Huh? He's lying.
Remember us?
And David believes that Cloudy, that Uncle is Red Harlow.
Where's Mike?
What's that about?
Where's Mike? I ain't seen him. We fell out.
Cleet. What kind of name is Cleet? It's the kind of name that a baddie would have. A cowardly baddie. Mr. Maddie says, am I late? You are just in time, Mr. Maddie. Happy Monday to you. Odog also thinks that Uncle is Red Harlow.
Quit squirming. You heard the lady. Get up there. Hold on.
Tituba. Yes, I remember her.
Keep moving. Stay away. Climb.
Mama One says, I love how the town folk just carry on like another day, another dollar. One of them will, like, a lady will, like, applaud if you hang Cleet. It's pretty funny.
All right, string the no-good murdering bastard.
Yeah, Serena also says, I agree, Mama. He says his real name a lot. John does. Yeah, he forgets. Arthur does, too. Cloudy says, I had so much fun going for the platinum, but the gold medals took some time. Odak says, Cleet is short for Cletus, a southern name. Cletus the slack-jawed yokel from The Simpsons.
Talk, or I'll pull this lever.
Yeah, watch this lady who's watching in the front because she's going to applaud. Miko says, I agree. It's not because they got Micah. Pinkertons were tracking all of them down anyway. And he bought a farm near Blackwater. It was only a matter of time. And Glennis says, I had a friend named Cleet when I was in school. He could rope a calf really quick. Okay, well, that's fine then. It's not a bad name. It's a very authentic name. Hanging or sparing makes no difference in terms of getting a gold. But I've never, ever not hung him. Serena says, I sort of feel sorry for Cleet here. I didn't want to do it, but I did it if you don't, Sadie does. Okay, that's good to know. Papa One says, Cleet is short for Cletus. We had a farmhand back in the late 90s whose name was Cleet. He was a good kid. Always wanted to be a Marine. I always tried to talk him out of it, but he joined anyway. He got a Purple Heart and is an electrician now. An electrician is a fine profession. Those guys can make 6 figures easy with overtime. And Odog says, yeah, Miko, victim of technology. Couldn't make a big map, lol. And we ride all night long. Momo says, sorry about that. YouTube disabled my comments for some reason. Well, I'm glad you're back, Momo.
There's an old watchtower up there they might be using for a
Okay. The most interesting aspect of this part of the event is that it is not timed. First thing you have to do is take out the sniper. You need to headshot the sniper. The only requirement is you are not able to use health items.
Be careful. Where is this thing?
So headshot the sniper, and you've got to get a bunch of headshots. I think 80% headshots, but you should be really good at headshots by now anyways. Cloudy says, I never understood why John brought that property near Blackwater, because Abigail wanted it. He bought it for Abigail. What's that about? You have to keep the wife happy. A happy wife is a happy life, as I'm sure Papa One and David know all too well. And David agrees, Abigail wanted it. Papa One says he couldn't break a horse to save his life, but lucky for him, the military doesn't use horses much. And Serena says, love the music in this mission to find Micah.
I'm gonna shoot you off that rock.
Glennis says, I hate that sniper. It took me forever the first time. I got killed so many times. Yeah, you have to know exactly where he is. But once you're there, blink off a headshot. See, we don't have a headshot yet. There you go. There's your headshot. John is using explosive rounds. Okay, let's move forward.
Hey, you're okay. You're okay.
I will be. Go on.
Charles will be fine.
Move fast.
It's just a flesh wound. He was wearing body armor, and that caught the worst of it.
Come on, John.
Serena says, same, Glennis. When I first played too, I didn't know where the sniper was. Now I do. Played it so many times. Now I know. Yeah, this game and these missions are like old friends.
Come on, John.
Shit.
Momo says, I'm starting a new Red Dead 1 playthrough to try to get these special edition outfits. Okay, good luck to you, Momo, and Godspeed. Papa One says, as Mama One is not happy, then I'm not happy. As Dutch would say, she insists upon it. Yes, gotta listen. Miko says, the American Venom theme is awesome. Miko, you, my friend, are awesome. So take advantage of the cover. Don't get hit. Understand. Don't die, of course. And understand that you can't use any health tonics. Glynis says, I'm taking it slow in this playthrough. Just trail ride some days. Yeah, I take it slow on every playthrough these days. In fact, to the point of not doing any missions. Bodoc says, relaxing, Glynis. Mama One says, I like how the story crew knew having Sadie, John, and Charles would be overpowered, so Charles gets sniped. Well, it's John's mission, really. As you well know. Interesting how Sadie didn't bring a long gun. First playthrough, these jokers were coming out from everywhere, from every direction it seemed. John kept dying, Sadie kept dying.
We gotta keep moving, John.
Get your hands off her!
And she gets one under the ribs. But Charles saves the day. Momo says, did Charles and Sadie go to Canada? Charles went to Canada, and Sadie went to South America. Glennis says, Sadie likes up-close combat.
You're dying.
I'll be fine.
She is a wildcat. Our Sadie.
I ain't dying. I ain't.
Okay, you stay here. I do like her hat.
Go get him. I'll be fine. I just need to rest.
I like the idea of a leather duster, but it seems like it would be really heavy.
In a minute.
Okay, now it's all John.
But I got something to take care of, sure.
Just you left, is it?
Yeah. Just me. I was kind of hoping I could kill you.
Likewise.
That was Joe. We gotta be. I'm here for you. With the turncoat. Where's my gun?
Papa One says, realistically, she wouldn't have pulled out the knife out, as it is likely popping the top of a wine bottle. It will leak and leak. I had a guy got stabbed in Vietnam, and I pulled it out. The South Vietnamese. Papa One will continue. Papa One, you remind me of Christopher Lee and Peter Jackson in Lord of the Ring. Christopher Lee was the only one in the crew who had practical experience in murder and killing a man, and knew what the sound of a knife going in and coming out of a man sounded like, because he was in World War II. Papa One says, the South Vietnamese medic cussed me out in Vietnamese. Then when I told him I don't speak Vietnamese, he cussed me in English. Well, he didn't know. But Papa One, Sadie was wearing body armor, so it's not as bad. I mean, it went in under the armpit, but it didn't go all the way in. The armor caught most of it. The Kevlar caught most of it. It's John we have to worry about because he is not wearing his body armor. There's random dynamite stacks all around, which I never bother exploding, but I wanted to for the video. First time I found this encampment with Arthur, it was at night. We were just exploring, and I had no idea what it was for. I mean, I hadn't finished the game. It was first playthrough. Okay, see, John is resting so that he can recharge his cores. And we might as well blow up some of these dynamites while we're here. Papa One says, true, and very few movies or video games depict what it is like to get stabbed or shot. Now the movie death sentence with Kevin Bacon, his son gets killed with a machete across the throat. Wow. Momo says, I wish we could loot Micah before his body disappears, and I wish we could take both his revolvers. Yeah, you only get one. And Papa One continues, that threw me back into Vietnam because it was just like real life. Wow. Okay, if you make it this far and you have not taken any health items, you basically have your gold. All you have to do is not let Micah kill you. Which means don't even bother fighting him after the cutscene. Just take cover. We're just gonna throw some dynamite for fun. Hello, Scarface.
Did you miss me?
Not much.
In a few years. How's that, whore of yours?
She's good. Didn't reckon I should waste my time killing you. But I felt different.
So it seems. Well, maybe after all this is over, I'll go pay her a call. And the boy.
Whatever you say.
Got my green tea. Papa One says, people don't react like they do in movies unless it is a mortal wound like Saving Private Ryan. But the guy that gets shot in the side, the leg, the arm, you may not feel it for over an hour due to adrenaline. It's an amazing drug. Well, you know, Papa One, part of the problem with modern Hollywood movies is these writers have no life experience. You know, they're getting their information, their research from other movies. You know, it's not like everyone. What I like about the verisimilitude of movies made for in the 60s and the 70s is a lot of those people were World War II veterans. You know, the writers, the actors, the directors, the people on the crew. You know, they had experienced life and death firsthand, and so there's a level of authenticity there that you don't get in a modern movie. Odog said, "Did we hear sirens?" Yeah, I apologize, Odog. This, there were some sirens in Saint Denis. They were chasing a gentleman who was not stopping.
Mrs. Adler? Been quite a while.
This scene reminds me of Guarma.
Now, John.
15 viewers in the chat. Welcome, friends.
What were you saying?
David says, funny you say that. There are sirens outside my house. Well, that's because you live across the street from me, David, in downtown Saint Denis.
Teaming up once more.
The next viewer poll will be the suffragette versus Lillian. Speaking of downtown Saint Denis, and Odog says, I told him about you, Bandit Tonio, LOL. Oh. You know, anytime we hear a siren out on my walk, I'll cover Sadie's ears. I just think it's too loud and piercing for her. Papa One says, I remember a few things for being a kid, but my dad always told me about World War II. I will always remember. He always said, Movies made it glamorous, but there's nothing fun about two young guys. One speaks English and the other speaks German, I assume.
Let her go. She ain't well.
I don't want to kill you, John.
Arthur saved my life. More than once.
Arthur's been dead a long time.
And you're both scared, horrified, and confused, but one shoots first, and that a-hole is the one who lives.
Dutch.
Odog asks, David, where are you on your playthrough?
Things turned out the way they did. Dutch, killing me won't solve nothing.
Put down your gun, Marston.
Say something, Dutch. Say something.
And it's the end of the game. Dutch is no longer a leader, and he walks away after shooting Micah. He walks away from the money as well. You shot me pretty good. And one explosive round right between the eyes. Well, okay, a bunch of explosive rounds. David says, I got Mary waiting for me, and Micah is in his hideout near Strawberry. I know exactly where you are, David.
Thank you.
Dutch. Papa one says, my dad used to say if things were slightly different, him and the German soldier could be friends, could be brothers, but their government doesn't want them to know that. Yeah, you're having the same exact experience on different sides. You've heard of the Christmas treaty in World War I.
In the cabin.
That story, I love that story, where
I got a wedding I want to
you know, they were both, you know, it's like the Germans were in their trench, and the I don't know where it was, and the English were in a trench on Christmas Eve, and they both just started like singing Christmas carols to each other and tossing over cigarettes and candy or chocolate and stuff, and they declared an unofficial truce for Christmas Day, and came out and socialized, and then went back to it. David says, finished survivalist, horseman, explorer, and master hunter. Well done, David. You're all set. And Papa Owen says, Dad's favorite movie was All Quiet on the Western Front from 1979. It's free on YouTube. Give it a watch. It's about World War I, but same thoughts. Momo is complaining about the autocorrect. Where are you, Momo? Glennis says, that's a good movie. Haven't watched it in a long time. All Quiet in the on the Western Front. I read the book in high school. And I'm sure I've seen a version of All Quiet. I don't think I've seen the 1979 version. Papa One says, after the truce, they refused to fight each other, so they had to transfer them to different areas. Men can be friends, but their leaders cannot. Oh, for the Christmas truce? And don't worry, we're not going to watch all the credits, but I thought we should put some credit. I just wanted you to see the gold. Momo, don't be embarrassed. There's no reason to. John and Abigail's wedding. There, we skip back.
Since you bought this millstone around our necks, Better try and keep this place going.
I paid our debts with that money.
There's your gold.
I don't want to talk about that money. No more of that.
It's over, Abigail.
I'm sure. Then get to work on this ranch you own and raising your boy.
Yes, ma'am.
Papa One says, I'm always amazed at how far technology has come. Thanks for letting me experience it through your work, Super Antonio, as I would have shot the computer by now if I had to do it. Well, I'm happy to be here for you, Papa One, and please don't shoot the computer. It's a wonderful tool. It's a window to the world. Cloudy says the last war film I watched was Lone Survivor. I didn't know it was based on a true story. I think the last one I watched was Dunkirk. Was that Christopher Nolan? And oh, interesting. I just saw Tenet. Tenet, which I liked because it's Christopher Nolan. It's a very complicated movie. It's kind of about time travel. It demands multiple viewings. It reminded me of Inception, but I love Inception. I love Inception so much more. I might get it on Blu-ray. I mean, if it's on sale, but you know, it's like I definitely have Inception on Blu-ray. Glennis says, people from all over the world just want the same thing, to be left alone and live their lives, yes, and not be taxed to death.
You okay, my darling?
And that, my friends, is all I have for you tonight. Appreciate you being here. It was great talking to all of you. Shout out to the mods, O-Dog, Papa One, David, Mama One, Serena. I hope you feel better, Serena. And thanks to channel member Glynis for being here. It's great talking to you, Momo and Miko, and everyone in the chat. Thank you so much for being here. We shall return on Wednesday for not Witcher Wednesdays, but Wednesday Weirdness, an extension of Sinister Sundays. I got to update this background. It's my weekend. I'm happy to have a couple days off. Thank you, O-Dog, and thank you, Miko. Appreciate all of you friends. Here, let's get Sadie up here to say goodbye. Hop, hop. Where are you? She moved to her crate. She's ready for bed. Okay, thank you, friends. Appreciate you being here. Sadie says goodbye.